Good evening, 003. The following is for your ears only and is classified above top secret by Her Majesty's Secret Service. Less than 24 hours ago, our contact with the We Can Make This Work, probably, podcast network intercepted an encrypted audio message sent over social media regarding the upcoming season of Podcasters Assemble, a hype rewatch podcast covering the James Bond films leading up to Bond 25. According to our intel, Season 1 covered the Marvel Cinematic Universe, while Season 2 focused on the Star Wars Skywalker saga. For this season, the podcast network is looking to recruit field operatives from around the world to reminisce about the Daniel Craig Bond movies, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, and Spectre, in a countdown to the latest film in the franchise, No Time to Die. Your primary objective is to infiltrate Podcasters Assemble by recording and uploading your submissions at probablywork.com. Utilizing a two-way communications device with a built-in microphone, the latest from Q-Branch. In addition, MI6 believes that the first episode is going to be an overview of the series as a whole, showcasing everyone's favourite and least favourite Bond movies, Bond actors, Bond villains, secret layers, cold opens, vehicles, and gadgets from the franchise's history, and more importantly, your background with these films. For a full mission report, go to probablywork.com. The first episode is scheduled for release on March 6th. We're all counting on you, 003.
Rejoice ye one and all, as the dragon has returned to Season 2 of the Tarviran podcast. Please join Rich Arbara, Rob Alfor, Bill Culfrane, as they take on the epic fantasy series of the Wheel of Time. This season is dedicated to the Great Hunt, so join us as we go on a mystical adventure following the travels of the great Horn of the Lair in this season of the Tarviran podcast.
Everybody, welcome the fuck back. It is Season 2 of the Tarviran, A Wheel of Time podcast, where we're going to spend this entire season hunting greatly. I am your humble host, Robert, and I am joined along with...
I'm Bill.
I love that introduction, Bill. Just like, I'm Bill.
I'm Bill.
And I am the great American host, Rich.
The greatest of American hosts, which makes me the second greatest American host.
I'm just here.
And I'm the greatest worldwide host.
you get your little island across the pond covered. You got it fine. But hey.
If you think baseball in America is the World Series, then I'm going to be the world's greatest podcast host.
Yeah, okay.
For the Targaryen pod. But I have also only had very little sleep. So,
yes.
So apologies if I'm a bit lackluster today.
And it's very early in the morning for us Americans over here.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Rich, as usual, is being dragged out of bed by me, kicking and screaming.
Yeah, Rich is
7 a.m. for you? No, 6 a.m. isn't it?
6:30 in the morning for him.
Yep.
7:30 for me. And as we were told, lunch will be delivered to Bill during the show.
So expect lots of chewing.
If you hear any chewing, that's not Rich scratching himself. That's
Nope.
Yeah.
So, as was promised, we were going to take a 2-week break in between books. That very quickly became a 4-week break, and then actually extended past that. I will raise my hand and say, ironically, in the middle of all this COVID, Corona crap, I actually transitioned to a new job and quote unquote remotely onboarded. So I'm talking to you from a desk built for my bedroom, and I have all this gear now that I'm using for work, and I have it set aside. I'm on my laptop, so no. If anybody's listening from my new job, no, I'm not using my new gear for podcasting, but it kind of made me have to extend the hiatus we took, but we are back. We're back. We're here. Get used to it.
Yeah,
We are.
yeah.
Yeah. So congratulations, Rob.
Thank you.
I'm very, very proud of you, my friend.
I am too. It was really out of left field. Sorry, baseball reference, but really out of left field. This opportunity came, and I ran with it. And lo and behold, here I am. I'm transitioned to a new job. It's awesome. But enough of that. How goes things in Randland these days?
Randland? Yeah, it's all right. It's very sunny. But we don't go out.
It's always sunny in Randland. That should be the next spinoff.
You're just never allowed to go out into it. That's all.
Well, yeah. Last we heard, everybody was up north celebrating the defeat of Balzamon, and the great battle at Tarwin's Gap, and everything kind of goes from there. And we lead ourselves into the second book. I don't have my outline in front of me, so I was hoping for Bill to kind of point us in the right direction.
Oh, sorry.
Folks, it's been a little bit of it's been over a month since we've last done this, so I know we have.
Like I said, I'm half asleep anyway. So, I was looking if we had any iTunes reviews. That's why I'm going to be quiet.
I mean,
I'm sure we'd got one, but I can't find it.
iTunes review? I don't see any.
Last we saw it was entitled Chapter 50 episode or something.
Yeah.
One of our listeners, Tanis.
Yeah. That must have been the one I was thinking of. I know we've had a few YouTube comments come in, which have been good.
Yes.
And
YouTube is actually picked up. I know.
Yeah, we've cracked 100 subscribers on YouTube.
We blew past it. We were like at 98, like, oh, it's gonna happen. Then like 24 hours later, it was like at 104. It was like,
sweet.
Yeah, man, YouTube's kicking off. I just can't believe it. I never thought YouTube would be a viable podcasting platform, considering it's like there's just like a thumbnail, and then it's just like 2 hours of us talking crap.
Yeah, I know.
Suckers.
Hey.
Yeah,
man.
I guess working from home, some people only have access to certain things on their computers, and if they've got access to YouTube, what a better place to listen to a podcast on?
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very proud of that sort of stuff. What about news? We used to have a news segment, didn't we?
Yeah,
we did, but we don't.
Well, the news is that there's this pandemic happening, and
wasn't
everything
it
has been kind of shut down. Our Twitter anniversary?
No, not us. The Wheel of Time.
Oh. What do you got?
I don't know. I thought it was news.
No, I don't think so.
No, and I also, once again, since I've been trying to catch up on this new position, my social media footprint has definitely been lacking. I don't know how much Twitter Bill and Rich have been picking up, but I have not been on the scene, as the kids say it.
No, I've managed to not keep up with the Twitter account at all. So apologies about that. We are terrible at this, aren't we?
We suck. Why are you guys listening?
I love the content. We're just not good at promoting ourselves.
Oh my god, that's one of the podcasts that we mutually are fans of. It's called No One Can Know About This. They lament at the end of every episode about how hard it is to quote unquote sell yourself, and I didn't know what they meant until we started this podcast, and at the end we start saying, let's do this here, let's do this there, you can go here, you can do this, and it's like, oh my god, I totally get what they're talking about. You don't have that kind of personality to put yourself out there, but love us, people, subscribe, show us that you care.
Yeah, because if you don't give us, especially with iTunes now and other reviewing platforms, if you don't keep giving us reviews, there's going to be punishment due.
Oh, that's Bill's big thing for season 2.
Yep. Rich and Rob are very much against it, but I will have next week a punishment song for you all to listen to, and it's going to be long. I don't know if anyone does listen to mine and Rich's other show. I did actually make everyone listen to a 7.5-minute death metal song the other day.
Yep, he did.
I did. Scott said, at least Scott, our other co-host, did say, well, at least you warned them.
Yep,
said,
and you're warning him now. Here.
Yeah. Now here's 7 minutes of death metal. No, seriously, 7 minutes of death metal.
If you give us 7 minutes of the song you plan to do, I may quit.
I'm pretty sure it's a very short song anyway.
It's catchy, but short.
Yeah, it's catchy. You'll be stuck in your head for a long time. But the worst thing is that you're going to have to listen to me sing it.
Well, it's one of those things is when you hear the original song, it gets immediately stuck in your head for 2 weeks. That's what I found. But anyway,
Problem is, I'm now just thinking of the song. And it's stuck in my head.
Don't say it, because I'm resisting singing it too right now. But don't say it.
Okay. Well, let's tell you what. Before we jump into the chat.
Too young for this trek. The Final Frontier. These are the voyages of
MC,
Troy, and Eric.
Their mission to introduce Tyler to strange new episodes.
To seek out the best and worst media in the Star Trek franchise.
To boldly go where several podcasts have probably gone before.
Chapter discussion. Let's have a word from our sponsors. And we're back. Yes, there we go. Thanks for telling us all about Anchor, Rich.
Yep, you're welcome.
Well, hopefully the randomizer gives us Anchor, because I think he gets a few other ads out there.
Yeah, it could be Spotify.
It could be
Spotify, right?
It could be the white, or it could be yours. But didn't you have one for white noise?
Oh yeah, I wonder if that's still active.
Oh, man.
Anyway, I digress.
We're in the shadow at the moment.
We are. So, can I just start out saying I don't enjoy this prologue?
I get it. I get where you're coming from. I got a couple good points from it, but I mean, we're all geared up to go right into, what stupid shenanigans is Matt got into? What's Perrin pissed off about? What's going on with Nynaeve and the Warders? That's still a thing. Instead we get, a little, I guess, an evil maniacal tea party.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. It's like the Mad Hatter's tea party for Dark Friends.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like you said, like after everything that happened, Rand suddenly found out he can use the one power, and he's supposed to be the Dragon Reborn. Matt's had his connection to the dagger severed, but he still has to carry it around.
Mm.
Perrin's a wolf boy with his eyes. Egwene is learning the one, and all this really cool stuff. And it's just like, hey, let's talk to this bloke. Let's see what this bloke Bors is doing with the mask. It's like,
the man who calls himself Bors.
The man who calls himself boring. Yeah, sorry. I don't want to be too negative about it. But yeah, I didn't enjoy it. Like, this is thing is, Great Hunt is my favourite book in the series. Mm-hmm. But every time I've come to reread it and I've got to this bit, I'm just like, oh, God, I have to reread this. And then sometimes I'm just going, I'm not bothering, I'm skipping.
I mean, isn't that kind of the thing with Jordan, with prologues and epilogues, where he'll just shift the focus somewhere else, literally to some other guy in some other country doing some other thing. And I know that Sanderson also uses that kind of methodology with his books too, where he'll have interlude chapters in his books. But, we spent the entire first book, mostly through Rand, but definitely in the eyes of protagonists. So this is our first kind of glimpse into the mind of a bad guy. So there's a few points. I mean, like I said, we start with the man who calls himself Bors. And my first impression was that he is basically evil Sherlock Holmes. Because he spends the first few pages just kind of piecing out. Everybody's in disguises and masks. It's very eyes wide shut. But
this guy's got a spider tattoo on his hand, which makes him part of the sea folk.
Yeah. The hem of her dress is very, very well cut. She must be one of the nobles
from Ilian royalty.
Yeah, Domani royalty. So he's doing all this kind of deduction and trying to piece, basically just like Sherlock, piece as much information he can with the little bit that he's given. Apparently this guy, as we'll find out, it has a background in deducing things. So we'll find that out later. While he's doing all this kind of deduction, he's greeted by one of the serving people, men, women in these white uniforms, offering him drinks. And he.
Yeah. So how do I get invited to this party?
Do bad stuff.
I should. My invite should be in the post. Thanks,
But it's like, it's one of those things, and immediately get like the evil social dichotomy where he's like, well, I have to accept, but no way in God's green earth I'm going to drink whatever's inside this cup. So he's already playing out scenarios in his mind where he's like, yep, I got to accept your drink. I'm not drinking it, but whatever. Then he starts thinking, shit, they got servants here. God, servants just blab to their friends about everything. What do they think they're doing with certain? Then he looks one in the eye, and this is gets the emotionless doll, as Jordan called it, doll eyes, and he's like, they're
fakes.
They're not really there, huh? So it was one of the things that made him chill. He's like, oh, that's a fate worse than death, to become whatever these people
whatever that is.
So yeah.
But they all were extremely hot, scantily clad people. men and women alike. They're not wearing a lot. What they are wearing is mostly see-through.
That's also a theme of as we'll find, as we know that there are Forsaken. We do know that there's 13 of them, and I will say that they're not all super old guys with their skin peeled back. So we'll find each one of these people have different personalities as we come across them, but the scantily clad servants is a theme that runs with at least one of them I know. So
and none of the people around are paying attention to the servants.
Oh no, that's
how mistake.
With that, and that's another tip off that a lot of these people might be little hoity-toity, high-ranking people, because no one ever thinks of the servants. So
not everyone. He did say he saw a tinker in the crowd.
That's right. That you know what? That's to make my brain just hurt to think of a dark friend tinker.
I know, it's crazy. I wonder who it was as well.
Do you know the way of the leaf? No, die.
Yep.
Yes, have this poison leaf. Do we ever find out who that tinker is?
I don't know. I'm sure there's theories about it.
I don't ever remember reading about a dark friend tinker, apart from.
We might have a Twitter question there.
Oh. Yeah, although it will contain spoilers. We'll ask on the Discord.
So the next thing that happens is, we were greeted by 2 Trollocs and a Kevin. One thing you notice is that there's 2 entrances in his rooms. That's another thing. It was made to look like a palace and a high tea party or whatever it is. But if closer examination, like this is just a stone room dressed up. There's one door there. There's one door there. There's tapestries, but this is basically just a big stone room. So through one of the doors comes 2 Trollocs and a Kevin, and the Kevin tells everybody, "Prepare, Master is coming."
Shut up, you guys.
You're Kevin.
It's Kevin. Shut up, everybody.
But he had his hood back and the head like an egg with no eyes, and the whole crowd was like trying to be cool, but like, don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look. Oh, you're ugly. Oh, you have no eyes. That's weird. Did
you say like an egg with no eyes?
I think Jordan used the word egg as I'm not joking. I don't
know about you, but the eggs I've eaten in my life never had eyes.
Nope. No. That's the thing. That's the whole point. There's no eyes.
Let it grow beyond the egg. Let it grow beyond the egg. It grows some eyes. But
it's sunny side up, Kevin, with a side of hash. Hey.
Gross.
So first, like Boris.
Kevin's head.
Boris is thinking, or the man who calls himself Boris is like, my master. You can't mean.
Is he like Prince? Does Boris have a symbol?
The man formerly known as Boris. Prince was awesome.
X with a line for it. Yeah, I love Prince, but he had some silly name changes over the years.
If you call that a name change, don't call me Prince. Call me the symbol.
The symbol, formerly known as Prince.
So Boris is immediately starting to think, well, is this the new master? Because it can't be my old master, because my old master is bound in Shia Ghul along with, all the bad guys, and he starts to think, well, if this is a new master, maybe I can start to find and work my way in and find a crack in the and immediately this visage of a man with flames in his eyes or flames in his mouth appears above everybody, and he and everybody else in the room almost instinctively and almost compelled kneel or lay down or prostrate themselves and start to begin to pray or do their evil solemn oath.
Wait, they start touching their prostates?
They Yes. It's actually quite interesting.
They check their prostates.
What?
Okay. You got to do that once a year anyway. But
Yes, and I have to do my evil tea parties.
it seems a bit weird to do it when the man with the flaming head comes in.
Yeah. So
But
as they're going through
Yeah,
their diatribe of a prayer, Boris is thinking to himself. He's like, no, this can't be the real boss, is it? Because oh shit, things are progressing faster than I thought. And now he's like, well, there's no chink in the armor there. This is the big boss. This is Trump himself. I can't do anything to him. I can't
Trump,
my
did
way.
you really have to go there?
Trump. I meant
Should we say Pol Pot?
the dark one. The dark one with bad hair.
Shaitanican.
Oh, shh. Nope, cut that out. That was a spoiler.
What? Shaitan? That's not spoiler, is it?
So the new master identifies himself as Balsamon. Hey, I've heard that name before, haven't you?
Yes, I have several
Yes.
times.
Yeah, he's a mate of mine. We like to sit down and eat these little clay statues of people.
Is that Balsamon or the mummy from the Mummy movies?
Both. Don't you know they're the same actor?
That would be awesome if they get the guy who played the mummy as Balsamon.
Oh God, yeah. Well,
That would be a good Balsamon.
Actually, was that not Billy Zane?
No,
it was another guy. It was Billy Zane's stunt double.
It looks, I'll say, because obviously Billy Zane played the Alzamon in the Wheel of Time,
The FFX
that pilot they did.
Yes, highly acclaimed pilot.
I was going to say, if he was
I'll just say, if you're listening to this and you haven't watched it yet, you do yourself a favor and at least spend 22 minutes of your life to watch that. It's on YouTube, just to say you've done it and get it out of the way.
Oh, it was a guy called Arnold Vosloo.
That was a quick pull by you. You must have good internet over there.
I've got good access to IMDb. Hey man, don't forget I am on IMDb myself.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the child prodigy you were, right?
Exactly. Yeah. a prize to whoever can find the TV show that I was on.
Was it
I don't know what the prize is yet.
It was a nightmare?
No, it wasn't Nightmare. I wish it was. Tyler, I'm in a room.
Left, right, left, right.
That's a joke that only 4 people will understand.
And I'm one of them. Anyway, okay, moving on. So after this entity identifies itself as Balsamon, he presents them 3 visages. One of a farm boy with a trickster look. Second that's you. Second is a farm boy with muscular build and yellow eyes, who goes by the name of Rich.
Yep.
Yeah, how is your jaundice going, Rich?
It's fine. It's fun. It's fun sometimes.
How's the working out going? What are you pressing at the moment?
I don't know. I'm
over 200s. Oh, nice. See, Rich is getting very strong.
I am.
Yes, Tarman Gaidon's coming, and Rich is getting ready.
I'm Hulk out. Don't worry.
He's prepared. He's hulking out for the final battle.
That's right.
And thirdly was the visage of a tall redhead farm boy. Definitely not me. But he tells everybody one of these three is the Dragon Reborn. However, find the dragon, but do not kill him necessarily, for we may be able to turn them to the dark side. So, as Boris is hearing this information...
That was a great laugh.
Sorry, a little too good, huh? So, as this is happening, Boris is also noticing the other people around in the room appearing to have discussions with nobody in particular. And he's like, what is going on? Why is this? And all of a sudden he hears, balls, in his head, telepathically. And he's like, oh, that's what he's doing. Everybody is talking to him telepathically. And Balsamon, as he did with 3 boys in Rand, Matt, and Perrin, he's tapping into their brains. He's talking to them telepathically with a booming voice and maybe enhanced by magic, but Bors has nothing that he can do except listen, be compelled to listen, and obey his master's every command.
Bors, get me a coffee.
Yes, fetch me a coffee, balls, with extra cream and splendor.
Damn right. No milk.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm
no sugar, you idiot.
Bill, I need your help so I don't dance around any spoilers here, but he asked Bors 3. Sorry, I'm watching at the same time. That eyebrow is freaking me out. He has 3 very specific
I've got the Rock's eyebrow.
commands for Bors. First, he tells him to return to Terabon and continue the good work. As we'll find at the end of the chapter what that means, or the end of the prologue, we'll find out what that means. Second,
where's Terabon?
Doesn't matter, but the good work part was what kind of a little bit of it. When I realized what he was, like, that makes sense. Second, watch for these 3 young men. Have your network of eyes and ears look out for these 3 young men, but be careful because they are dangerous. Mm-hmm. And it mentions the Heron Mark blade with Rand, and Bors like, well, if it's a boy, what do you care? And Balisman's like, no. Don't sugarcoat it. Treat these boys as armed and dangerous, and don't mess it up.
Yeah, well, let's not forget Rand did kill Agenor in the last book, who was only second to Ishmael and Lewis Varin himself in the 1 power string.
Yes,
so,
that's right.
Third in the charts there. And Rand just gave him a good splattering.
Well, here's the third bit, and I wanted to kind of gently run this by you. He says, regarding something about those who have landed at Toman's Head. Is this... God, how can I ask about this without spoiling?
You can't, but yeah, I think you're correct.
It's what I think it is. Bill may have Bill, you've read this book before, right? And you've read a little bit of book 3. I'm sorry, Rich.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
I've read this one.
Yes.
I got to count myself for a name call. Damn it. So you may know a little bit about what I think this third bit talks about, but and Bill's nodding his head. And to those who think they know what I'm talking about, I think it is what I think it is. Yep.
Descendants of a certain person.
Yes,
It went for a swim.
Book.
So So is it a descendant of Paul Rudd?
It is.
Sweet.
Well, in the first book, now Bill, cut this out if I'm mistaken, but in the first book, there was alluding to Lews Theron's relatives crossing the ocean.
Correct.
No,
there
not
was.
Lewis. No, not Lews Theron. No, King Arthur Hawkwing. I believe it's during the scene where Perrin and Egwene spend the night under his hand.
Yes.
And Eyeless gives him a little rundown of the story of Arthur Hawkwing.
And he says, and some believe some of his kin went across the ocean.
He sent load out over the ocean, and then some believe that one day they will return.
And then here we have something about people who have landed at Toman's Head, and don't have the map in front of me, but Toman's Head is basically
way west.
Big phallic symbol coming out the side of Randland to the west.
Yes, and very phallical.
It's very phallical. Sorry, there's no way.
Do you guys know the rule of the Mulligan tie?
No, I do not.
So there's a little cove off the edge of Scotland called the Mull of Kintyre, which kind of looks like a semi-erect penis.
All right.
In the flop position, and anything pornographic is considered to be greater than the angle of the Mull of Kintyre.
There's someone with a compass and like an engineering desk.
Yeah, sorry, no, I think that was it. I think someone at some point said, well, if it's higher than that, then we should class it as this.
How do I get that job? Just kidding.
I think Paul McCartney did a song called the Mull of Kintyre as well.
They're say Paul Rudd did the song.
I'll tweet that out randomly.
That's
no,
awesome.
That is not the punishment song. So I guess Bors has no other recompense but just to say, I will obey my master and do whatever I can to make him happy. And I don't have the information here in front of me, but maybe one of the two you can help me out here. Bors then receives a flash of different visions that Baalzamon gives him, and then he's done with it. Poof, goes off to the next person. There's a bunch. I was trying to pick up as much as I could, but it was, a woman and this and that and this, and there's a bunch of, I don't know, just kind of flashes for him to try and deduce what that means, along with his 3 very specific orders.
Huh. I don't remember.
So, Rob, what's the question?
That's what, like, after he gives Boris the 3 commands, there we go. He felt himself being lifted, and the world blew apart in 1,000 starbursts. An impossible sky of stereo clouds, red, yellow, and black. A woman, a girl, dressed in white, receded into blackness and disappeared. A raven staring him in the eye, knowing him. An armored man in a brutal helm, shaped and painted and gilded like some monstrous poisonous insect, which is also a hint of another army of people. Raised sword and plunged to one side behind his view. A horn, curled and golden, came hurtling out of the far distance. One piercing note sounded as if it flashed towards him, tugging at his soul. At the last instant, it flashed into a blinding golden ring of light that passed through him, chilling him beyond death. A wolf leaped from the shadows of lost sight and ripped out his throat, but he could not scream. The torrent went on, drowning and burying. So he had all these kind of flashes of different things. Woman in white, maybe that's Egwene.
No.
The wolf, obviously that may be Perrin. The brutal helm that looks like an insect. I can't say what that is, but it's what I was alluding to maybe with the 3rd of Boris's commands.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So everything goes dark, and he sees everybody else kind of finishing off their telepathic communications with Balsamon. And then a servant says, Lord Boris, this way to your room, please, so you can change back into your normal garb and go. And,
creepy.
Yeah, I know. So the last paragraph, Boris is changing out of his Eyes Wide Shut costume, and it says he pulls out a white cloak with a golden sun. Dun dun.
Which is a questioner.
Well, yes, and the golden sun had a red shepherd's crook with it, which means that he's like
he's actually an Inquisitor.
Yes, he's not just a white cloak. He's a member too. No, he's a special section of the White Cloaks known as the Questioners, which completely explains why Boris was deducing and trying to figure out and skeeve his way through everything. He does this for a living. And this also is a play on words on what Balsamon was referring to as the good work, because that's what all the White Cloaks are doing. They're doing the Creator's work on Earth, or on Randland. And thus, our prologue comes to an end.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Hey, you know what else? You know what else we got coming back? I did a readings with Rob for the prologue, so I wanted to get back into the swing of things with the readings. So we now have readings with Rob, prologue style.
And now, the Taviren present to you readings with Rob.
The Great Hunt. Prologue. In the Shadow.
Your master comes.
The Murdral's voice rasped like a dry snake skin crumbling.
To your bellies, worms. Grovel, lest his brilliance blind and burn you.
Rage filled the man who called himself Bors, at the tone as much as the words. But then the air above the half-man shimmered, and the import drove home. It can't be! It can't! The Trollocs were already on their bellies, writhing as if they wanted to burrow into the floor. Without waiting to see if anyone else moved, the man who called himself Bors dropped face down, grunting as he bruised himself on the stone. Words sprang to his lips like a charm against danger. They were a charm, through a thin reed against what he feared, and he had heard 100 other voices, breathy with fear, speaking the same against the floor. The great Lord of the Dark is my master, and most heartily do I serve him to the last shred of my very soul. In the back of his mind, a voice chattered with fear. The Dark One and all the Forsaken are bound. Shivering, he forced it to silence. He had abandoned that voice long since. Lo, my master is death's master. Asking nothing do I serve against the day of his coming. Yet do I serve in the sure and certain hope of life everlasting. Bound in Shio Ghul, bound by the Creator at the moment of creation. No, I serve a different master now. Surely the faithful shall be exalted from the land, exalted above the unbelievers, exalted above thrones. Yet do I serve humbly against the day of his return. The hand of the Creator shelters us all, and the light protects us from shadow. No, no, a different master. Swift come the day of return. Swift come the great Lord of the Dark to guide us and rule the world forever and ever. The man who called himself Bors finished the creed panting, as if he had run 10 miles. The rasp of breath all around him told him he was not the only one. Rise, all of you, rise!
That was Readings with Rob. If there's a passage in an upcoming chapter you wish to have read on the podcast, simply tweet us at TavirenPod with your request.
And that was Readings with Robert. Jordan.
With Robert Lennon Jordan. Anyway.
Jordan Lennon III.
As Bill mentioned, it's not the most entertaining or the most enthralling chapter or prologue, but I think it's needed to give. This is our first view through the eyes of a bad guy, so we get that. We get a little bit of information from each of the different countries: Arid Domain, Tarabon, Tyr, Ilion. So I think it's good that we get to see this. Also, we get to get a little more background into this special subsection of the White Cloaks known that as the Inquisitors or the Questioners with their Red Shepherd's Crook. We will find more about that as Bill has been graciously delivered lunch. He has special UK DoorDash, apparently. Now I want a quesadilla. We're all over the world here. What was that? Is that a crepe or a quesadilla?
That's a quesadilla.
It's Pidina.
What? Close.
I don't know what quesadilla is.
Changing words. Look like a quesadilla.
It's just an Italian thing. I'm not changing the words. I believe if someone's changed the words down the line, it would probably be the Americans.
Yep, we do that.
Don't forget, it's my language, the English language.
I'll speak American. What are you talking about, boy? It's America.
I'm going to change all these S's to Z's for no reason. X, Y, Z. Z, not Z. Come on, guys. Pull your literature finger out, you bum holes.
Zed is a cartoon here. A cartoon from the 90s, Invader Zed.
Nice.
Oh, that sounds like it. Yeah.
Nice.
Is that like Jason and the Wood Warriors?
What, in the UK, you're telling me it's called Invader Z?
Yeah, it would be.
That Brad Pitt movie over here, World War Z.
Man, you should hear Paw Patrol with English voices. It's messed up.
Sorry, my kids have gone past the Paw Patrol days.
Yeah, no, it's so strange because on some reason the Paw Patrol that's on Netflix is all in American or it's Canadian, but then you get it on the English channels and it's all English dubs and it's just like, why did they bother?
Come on, Spot, let's go help out. Let's go help our friend out.
Oh, come on, Ryder.
Nice.
So, what did you think of the chapter, Rich?
I mean, it's pretty basic. It just kind of alludes to what's happening on the evil side of things and them all doing their evil stuff. And it gets a glimpse of a white cloak who is actually, bad and has infiltrated the white cloaks.
Enough for bad enough, but he's like the bad side of even the white cloaks say they're the bad guys or they're evil.
Yeah. Yep.
So the evil part of the evil group.
So yeah, it's an okay base. Hey now. You don't know that.
Hey man. You haven't read the rest of the books. There's some great
That's
white
true.
cloaks.
Oh, okay.
They're not.
Yes.
They're not all evil. They're not all evil knobheads.
Okay. All
Just
right. Fair
five
enough.
of them.
Not evil, but the whole if you're not us, you must. The whole predetermination of that everybody else must be evil is not a popular view. Let's put it that way. So I'm very tempted to turn it back to Billy, even though he's got a mouthful of food. But I will go from here.
I'm just thoroughly enjoying my Pidina. They are delicious. Melted mozzarella, avocado, tomatoes, bit of pesto. Oh, man, that is some.
So if you're eating a quesadilla and you get on a boat to England, does that quesadilla turn into a piadilla like as you're on the boat over?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard the word quesadilla mentioned so much on podcasts and stuff, and I had no idea what it is. Apparently, it's just a piadina.
Nice.
Blame Taco Bell.
And I'm sure this is either like Italian or like Spanish or something. It must be Italian. It's got mozzarella in it.
That's not racist.
I don't think so. If it was cheddar cheese, then it would be English.
If it was American cheese.
Well, for it to be cheddar, it has to come from a place in Somerset called Cheddar Gorge.
Oh, okay.
There are strange things like this. Certain foods only come from certain places, like Moulton Melbury poke pies.
You're giving me a podcast idea. It's one of the great. Primus,
have you guys ever?
Hold on, guys. Primus has an album called "Sailing the Seas of Cheese." So we got "Sailing the Seas of Cheese" with Bill.
But no, there are silly things like that, like a Cornish pasty.
Irish brand of cheddar. You can find that in a little farm upside of Surrey and blah blah blah.
Have you guys ever had Cornish pasties?
No.
Sorry, no.
Oh, okay.
Did we just turn into a food podcast?
Yeah. Well, Cornish pasties, you can only have. Let's go with the simple one. So champagne is only technically champagne if it's from the Champagne region of France.
I have heard of that.
Anything outside of that is just sparkling white wine. But there's loads of things like that where legally you can only call something if it's from that place.
Oh,
like I think halloumi. I think halloumi can only be called halloumi if it's from Cyprus. Or Greece. I could be wrong. On that one. Otherwise, it has to be called like goat's cheese or something.
Over here, we got the biggest ball of twine in 3 counties. I'm all over to see my ball of twine.
I see that sort of stuff. I see that sort of stuff on movies all the time. And I'm just like, God, America.
Yeah, we're not sophisticated. We have
a giant
fried cheese
made out of hay.
Yeah.
We have people that put cheese on their heads and go to football games and cheer on the Green Bay Packers.
I'm sorry, Rich, but fried cheese belongs to the Scottish.
Well, you know what? We have fried bread. We have fried bread.
French.
We have fried Oreo cookies. You can fry anything.
No, I'll tell you what. He's American that no one else in the world has. It's half and half.
Half and half?
Half and half, yeah. I had no idea what it was. It took me ages to learn what it was. It's like, it's half milk and half cream.
Half cream, yeah.
Why?
Or, Bill, we just have diabetes and obesity. That's what we have.
Bill, you ever heard of a cowboy burger?
No, I'm about to.
It's a burger, but instead of bread, they're donuts. Donut, burger, donut. It's called a cowboy burger. Why cowboys and donuts?
Although I'd up that and have burger, donut, burger, no bun.
Let me bring it back to you. Kentucky Fried Chicken did remember the reverse sandwich, whatever they did a few years ago?
Oh, God, yeah.
Instead of, it was a chicken sandwich, but it was 2 chicken patties with
bread in the middle.
Something like that.
That was hilarious. Me and my friends all instantly went out and got one.
I still haven't had a Baconator yet. That's on my bucket list, is to have one Baconator before I die.
Well, you'll probably die after eating it. Too much. I've had a few.
What the hell are we doing? What is this, a Wheel of Time podcast?
Anyway, if you love this enthralling discussion about food, cheese, diabetes, and
obesity,
heart failure,
I think we have champagne as well.
And champagne and Cyprus halloumi.
Nice bit of
one of the more refined palates is Mr. Bill. Subscribe to our podcast.
As he shoves a Pidina in his mouth.
Oh! I'm sorry. I clicked the camera on. This has been going live. Whoops, sorry. Subscribe, iTunes, iPod, or Apple Podcast review. As you have been well warned, Bill has what he has deemed a punishment song on podcasts where we do not get a review. If you do not have access to Apple products, you may well email us, tavernpod@gmail.com. You can hit us up in our Discord. Say, hey, I am Samsung Android only. Here's my review. In God's name, please don't sing, Bill. And we will be very much obliged to read it on the air and not play the song.
Yeah.
We have Twitter, although as we have admitted, we have been lax in our Twitter monitoring, but at TavernPod. Bill is available at Matunica. He's busy eating, so I'm going to take care of that for him. And Richard, you are...
METUNNICA.
I
am still rocking my Twitter handle of @HailBlue1569.
Hit him up, too. Say, hey, get on the Tavern. Check out hashtag Twitter of Time. There's some cool stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got? We got Discord. We got, I think Tyler's still doing the Instagram and the Facebook. Maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
The network's just finishing up its Game Jam this week as well.
Yep.
And yesterday, as of recording, which will be a week ago when this comes out, we finished the Materia Lockdown for this year as well.
How'd that go this year?
Not as good as last year.
Oh.
to be expected though, considering the whole world apocalypse died.
Yes. That will put a chink in any armor.
But we've raised over $200 so far for motor neurone disease, so I'm pretty happy.
Very good, awesome, absolutely.
Every dollar helps.
Every dollar helps. The motor neuron disease awareness campaign. Sorry, I'm trying to do this with my eyes closed, so I'm not watching Bill.
No, the NMDA, the Motor Neurone Disease Association, work on helping with like palliative care and stuff for people who know motor neurone disease.
What else we got? We got Patreon.
Yes.
It is up for Patreon, and we are working on putting some special information out there. I know I put a few readings out there. I plan to, whatever episodes we had Bill or Rich do the readings, I did my own reading, but we'll stash it in the Patreon. We have some ideas for some bonus content that is Patreon only. So
yeah, I've got I've got readings of the Wheel Up, which is exclusive to Patreon out there at the moment, and I've got lots of other stuff up there as well. I'm going to do as we get introduced to certain high-ranking dark friends in the books, I'm going to do little spotlights on them for the Patreon.
Very good.
So I'm gonna have one coming up for Agenor, which is why I knew so much about him when he suddenly when that came up earlier in the thing. He was the third highest ranking in power.
Number 3 in the chart, number 1 in your hearts.
Well, number 3 in the charts and number 1 on Rand's list
of
list.
Dead people.
Is he the first person Rand kills?
No, well, counting Narg. Does
Narg not like Trollocs. I mean, like actual people. Because don't forget, the Dreadlords were people. They just chose a bad path of job career.
Never killed anybody as they were making their way to Camelin. He pissed off a lot of people. Locked up that one lady assassin. Yeah,
I think he is the first person Rand kills.
Correct.
Oh man, I completely missed that. Yeah, and he was like one of the third most powerful wielders of the One Power who's ever existed.
Well, it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not Agenor. Kill you.
Flick.
So Redbubble, I know that was something that we were playing with earlier. If you want to see our logo on a coffee mug, hoodie, laptop sticker, check out Redbubble.
Yep.
Am I missing anything
else?
So
all these links are in will be in the descriptions below.
And I'm
pointing
doing
downwards as always.
Yep, I'm pointing down.
Everyone points downwards. And yeah, don't forget we're on YouTube.
That's
Subscribe and join the conversation there. There's so many places that you can show your love on. And yeah, like I say, if you really love us, you can always just throw us a buck or two on Patreon, and we're going to slowly build out the content on there as well.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think it's time for a drink, guys. Where's the nearest inn?
No. This lady in this white dress just offered me a wine. I think I'm gonna.
Don't.
Ask for her number.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. She's dead behind the eyes. What you want to do?
Oh, I thought it was something really bad to say, but I wasn't going to say it. I caught myself.
Oh, that's
awesome.
Thank God for my mental, for my moral compass. It caught just at the right second.
Alrighty, guys. That's enough.
All right, guys. Yep. All right. Peace,
Big love.
everybody.
We'll see you all next
Chapter
week.
1.
Chapter
Peace.
1. The Great Hunt.
As we march further on into the adventures of the Great Hunt, we take a quick peek into each of the minds of the 3 farm boys from 2 Rivers to see where their heads are at the moment. Wow, Perrin is so good talking to women. The way he handled Egwene, I wish I could do that. Man, I wish I was as good at women as Perrin. Man, Rand seems to know what he's talking about with them women. I wish I was able to be as good talking with women as he is.
Man, I see Rand and I see Perrin and Lewith, they're talking to women. Boy, I wish I could talk to women like that. The only thing I'm good at is making women mad. I only make women pissed off. Matt really has a way with women. I don't know how he gets away with it, but I wish I had that same ability to talk to women like he does. I can't believe the way Matt talked to that woman. It worked out beautifully. I just get stuck in my words and they think I'm just slow, but man, Matt really has a way with the women.
This has been a presentation
of the We Can Make This Work
Probably Network.
Follow us on Twitter
@ProbablyWork
for more of our questionable content.
Also, we have a website called probablywork.com.